I'm Romeo with the Medical Home Portal. So today I'm going to talk to you about the portal and some other resources that you can find through the portal. Basically, the Medical Home Portal is information for physicians and for families and other allied health providers, other providers that serve kids with special health care needs. So what we did is we made this website where the doctors can go and find medical information about these different diagnoses. Because usually a primary care pediatrician or family practice doc doesn't see a lot of these kids every day. So they may not be very familiar with what to do with a specific diagnosis. So we provide the pediatrician or the family practice doctor information about what to do during the visit with the kid so that they don't miss things. We also provide information for the families. For example, information about how to be advocates for their kids, how to find information on different websites and determine if it's good information, and then what to do to try to access other resources, work with other systems such as the school system, and then how to help their kids transition from birth to adulthood. So there's a lot of information for a variety of different individuals on the website. So today we're going to mainly talk about some of the autism resources that are on there. So if you go to the website, imagine that you're a physician and you've got a kid coming in with autism. You want to make sure that you check and cover everything during that well-child visit. So you go to the website, if you're a physician, there's a tab there that says Diagnoses and Conditions, and it's one of the green tabs. So you click on that, and it'll take you on the left-hand side to a list of different diagnoses. So the autism spectrum disorders is one of the diagnoses there on the left-hand side. And there are 9 different pages within that diagnosis module about that different diagnosis. So if you go down to about the middle of that section, that highlighted section there for the condition, you'll see a page that says Treatment and Management. So if the pediatrician goes there to the Treatment and Management page, they can scroll down and see the kind of things that they need to check during that well-child visit. So one of the things that we recommend that they check is sleep issues. Kids with autism, they may have difficulty sleeping, they may be on medications that affect their sleep. So we have a little bit of information. And then one of the links we provide is a little bit more detailed information about sleep disorder. So what we try to do on the website is provide very succinct information that the physician can use at the point of care and then refer them to more detail. So if they go to this detailed information, they can print it out. They can learn a little bit more about the sleep condition. They can learn the specific medications that are recommended and the dosages. And for example, with some of these medications, it's recommended that the physician order an EKG before starting the medication. So this is very specific information for the provider on how to care for the child. Going back to the website, there's also reference for the information. It takes you down to the bibliography, and from the bibliography you can click on it and it takes you to PubMed, which is a resource for different journal articles. And it gives you right directly to that journal article so the physician can learn the detailed background about why we are recommending these things on the website.
Is the full article or just the abstract?
It depends on the contract that the publication has. Some articles will just have the abstract. If it is provided free, we do provide a link to that free copy. So imagine mom has had the well-child visit with dad and she's on her way out and she says, well, what about dentists? I have a really hard time finding a dentist for my kid with autism. Well, we'll go back to the autism page. Down further on the list, you'll see a page that says Services and Other Resources. So what we do is we provide information about the services that this family, for a specific diagnosis, may want to access. So as you tap down through that list, you'll see pediatric dentistry. And it'll link you to our list of 22 pediatric dentists that we have. One of the other ways to access these services is through the Services and Resources tab. So go back up to the top of the page, and it's kind of this pinkish, purplish color. And that tab takes you to the Community and Professional Resources. And this is our list. We get a lot of the community resources from 211. Most of you are probably familiar with 211. You call them up and you ask them about different resources. We get a lot of their resources and we organize them a little bit differently. Usually when you call 211, they ask you questions to help you find the services. We provide these based on different categories. So for example, we'll provide dentists. You can scroll down through the list and find the dentist if you know what you're looking for. Or you can type it into the search box up at the top. So if you go down the list,
How frequently do you maintain this?
the services from 211, we usually get those, we have been getting them about every 6 months. So it may be a little bit out of date. The professional services like physicians and doctors, the dentists and those kinds of things, OT, PT, that are not part of the 211 database, we get those on a less frequently basis. So if they have a change in their service, they can email us, or we go out and look for those, like for the Intermountain Healthcare and University of Utah, we go out and search for those services. So if you scroll down the list, you'll find the healthcare dental, and in addition to the 22 pediatric dentists, we also have a list of 112 general dentists that serve kids with special healthcare needs. So you go to the pediatric dentist and take a look at the more info. So on the main page, we'll give you just a little bit of information about the dentist and their address and phone number. You click on the more info, and it'll give you a brief service description. And for the dentist, we do provide information about what kind of pay that they accept. We sent out a survey, and they told us we accept either private payer, Medicaid, CHIP, those different kinds of things. So one of the other things that is in our dentist is we provide a level information. So you're wondering, what's this level 1, 2, or 3? Well, back on the left-hand side of the menu, it says dental care levels for children with special healthcare needs. You go to that and it'll describe these different levels. So level 1 is kids with special needs that don't really need much different in how the dentist or provider will care for them. Level 2 is a moderate difference, and level 3 you can see is for treating kids with autism, or if they have medical equipment such as they're on an IV pump or if they're on a ventilator, those types of very complex types of conditions. So we asked our dentists, are you comfortable seeing kids in levels 1 that doesn't require much all the way to level 3 that requires a lot of different complex care? So they provided us that information of what level they're comfortable with, so you can go and search by level, even 1, 2, or 3, and find the dentists in your area that will treat kids with autism. So going back, and mom, imagine a different mom, and she has a kid that's 4 years old that has a diagnosis of autism, and she's wondering what to do next. You know, this kind of diagnosis is new for her. She's not very sure about what kind of resources may be out there, maybe struggling with the feelings of, you know, this new diagnosis. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm really struggling with it. So she goes to the website, and we do have a section, the first tab, that says for parents and families. So this is where you learn a little bit about advocacy, how to be a better advocate for your kid, some of those different organizations like the Parent Center that you may find in the community that can help you learn about advocacy and get to some of those other resources. We also do provide on this section the care notebook, which a lot of families find helpful to record medications, appointment dates, those different types of things, so they can keep track of everything. As mom is learning more about school issues, transitioning out of early intervention, wondering what to do in preschool, we do provide information about transition to preschool, and then, like I said before, all the way up to adulthood. So it kind of helps them navigate that system. Then this sparks mom's ideas about, well, what do I do when we get into the regular school system, not just preschool? So we have under the parent section, we have information about education in schools. So we have the Parent's Guide to School Services, describes what IEPs are, 504s, LEAs, those kinds of things, so parents have a little bit better understanding of all of that different jargon. We also provide a little bit of information about how to coordinate between your medical provider and the school. And we provide some forms so that they can make that coordination a little bit easier. Realizing that all of your doctors aren't going to understand this information, we also provide a doctor's page that's similar to the parents page and explain the 504s and IEPs, all of this information for the doctors also. So that's one of the other sections is for physicians. And again, this is structured for the medical providers so that they can understand a little bit how to provide a better medical home, where to go to send their families with special health care needs, to find resources, to access the school system and those types of things. We do provide information about newborn disorders. So if you have a child with any of the 31, 32 different screen conditions, you can go and find a little synopsis about it, and then local and national resources for those also. One of the other sections that we provide is the technology reviews. So if you have a child with a G-tube or a trach, those kinds of extra medical equipment, you can go and learn about those. And they're also helpful for the physician, so if the child's in an emergency situation, they kind of know what to do. So what I'd like to invite you to do is, on your own time, go to the autism page within the Medical Home Portal, and we do have a little button up in the right-hand corner that says Autism Module Feedback. You can click on that and take a survey and tell us what you think about the module. We're very interested in improving it, not only for the physicians, but for families, so we make sure that the information that you're looking for is either there or we have a link to it somewhere else. So there's the website, www.medicalhomeportal.org. We have a list of some of our sponsors. One of our biggest sponsors currently is the National Library of Medicine. They're giving us a grant to improve the website. And one of the other things that I want to briefly mention is the website is for children with special health care needs. So from birth to roughly 22, 24 as they become young adults. One of our partner projects is the Becoming Leaders for Tomorrow project, and that's out of Utah State University. So this project helps youth and young adults from ages 13 to 30 learn about leadership and advocacy so they can be better advocates for themselves and for others in the community. So this project, we're holding an open house on May the 16th. You can come and learn a little bit more about the project. We do have a flyer, so you can have a little bit more information about the open house. And the bookmarks are also out there, so you can learn about those. And we encourage you to come on out, learn about the project. And if you have kids with autism that are interested in doing presentations to local community organizations, that's what we do. We help our youth and young adults get ready to do some of those presentations. We presented at the Family Links Conference, university classes. We've also done some national presentations in Washington, D.C. So this is a little bit of availability for those kids that are ready to get out there and be better advocates. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
How are you disseminating the medical home portal to pediatricians? How are you getting that information to them?
We do newsletters to the pediatricians. We also present the information at their annual conferences, for example, this June.
And columns in their Around Pediatric Society and the Family Practice Organization newsletter.
And we are starting to provide some other resources for other states. For example, the newborn disorders. If you have a kid with a genetic condition, we do provide information for those genetic medical providers in 8 other states. So we're trying to open it up to other states also.
I'll go play around with it, but just a question. Can you go to any of the tabs? So
Yes.
The professionals and doctors tabs, the parents could also go to too?
Yes, we encourage the parents to go to those because we realize that parents very quickly learn the jargon and sometimes know more information than the doctors know. So go to the website and learn what kind of things we recommend for the treatment. And when you go into your doctor, say, this is what I want to make sure we cover today.